Okay. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our meditation session today. We are going to meditate on breath, anapanasati, mindfulness, awareness on breath, samatha, meditation, samatha, bhavana, mindful practice. Practice mindfulness, develop develop awareness by following breath. Anapanasati means awareness or mindfulness on in-breath and out-breath. According to the Anapanasati Sutta, there are several steps to develop mindfulness. Following inhale and exhale step by step. In the beginning, it says, so sato asasati, sato passasati, mindfully breathe in and breathe out. That's how this meditation begins. And intentionally breathing in and breathing out. And intentionally we do inhale and exhale for a while, then we intentionally do it. Then after that, we start to follow our natural breath. And we're going to pay our full attention to breath, how it is happening. Now we just started to meditation, then breath happen little longer. Even inhale and exhale, each inhale and exhale happen little longer. Then we notice it's happening long in breath and long out breath. Or if it is happen shorter, after for a while breath is going to be little short. Each inhale and exhale happening shorter. When it is happening shorter, we notice it is short in breath, short out breath. Here it means we pay attention to our breath. Then in the beginning we intentionally breathe in and breathe in out. Then later, and we follow with natural breath, observe in breath, and we notice it is happen longer or shorter. The next step is about pay attention to whole breath. It means we be aware from the beginning to end of each in and out breath. In this moment, our body must be quiet, relaxed, and mind quiet, relaxed, and focused. Then we be aware on whole in breath and out breath without losing at knowing that. And we know and we feel, we watch, we see the whole in breath and out breath. Then after that is come little serious step. It is about the relaxing in breath and out breath. Relaxing then we experience and we enjoy the relaxation of each in breath and out breath. Um, this, uh, this is the, this is how we develop our mindfulness on breath. Okay, let's practice. And you may gently close your eyes and keep your back straight. Take deep in breath and slowly let go and be relaxed. Okay, you may sit comfortably and keep your back straight. And keep your head not bending or facing up, just in the very natural way. And then take deep in breath and slowly let go. Couple of times just for relax. And then pay attention to your head and relax your head. And relax your face, your forehead and face. And relax your shoulders and drop your shoulders. And relax your arms. And relax your chest and stomach. And relax your legs and feet. Now you may pay attention to your sitting posture. Now keep your attention close to your nose, right in front of your nose, and intentionally breathe in and breathe in out. Now you may follow your natural breath and notice it is happening. If it is happened long, and you may just notice long in breath, a long out breath. If it is short, and just notice short in breath and short out breath. Just simply pay attention to notice how breath is happening. In the beginning, the breath could be little long. Now you may feel the breath is shorter. Each in and out breath is little shorter. It means the body is quiet, relaxed, mind is relaxed. Even focus, short in breath and short out breath, and simply notice the length of the breath. Okay, now we're going to another step of the practice of mindfulness on breath. Now we notice and be aware of whole in breath and whole out breath. Our attention always close to the nose. Then we can feel breath goes in and comes out, because breath goes through the nose and we pay attention close to the nose. And then we know the beginning of the in breath along to the end, and beginning of the out breath along to the end. We can see breath goes in and comes out, back and forth, and be fully aware on whole in breath and whole out breath. Just following natural breath, still relaxed, not interfering with breathing. Just be aware of the breath. Now, now we are going to the very important step of another mindfulness of this breathing practice. In this step, we just experience the relaxation of the in breath and the out breath, and we enjoy the relaxation of the breath. When inhale happen and you feel that inhale is relaxing, quiet and calm and peaceful. When the out breath happen and you enjoy the relaxation of the out breath, calmness, peacefulness. Now each in and out breath is peaceful, calm and relaxing. Then enjoy the relaxation of the breath. If you were distracted, and just come back to your breath and pay attention close to nose and observe your natural breath. Stay close to nose, you paying attention to close to nose, and you relax in your in breath and relax in out breath. this step, mindfulness must be quiet, stable, and breath must be much relaxed, and mindfulness stable. Then each in and out breath is relaxed. Now you must be feel more comfortable, more joyful, more happy. The next step of breathing meditation is called piti. Piti is joy or rapture. This rapture arises because of the seclusion from unwholesome karma and thoughts, because mind is mindful, aware, and focused breath. Then mind itself is secluded from the unwholesome thoughts and resting, relaxing. Then this rapture, this concentration arises from this seclusion or relaxation. Then we have to develop our mindfulness and awareness until mind become relaxed itself. Now you feel you mindful, quiet, mindful on your breath. Then the next step is called piti. Piti means joy or rapture. This rapture or joy arises seclusion of the mind from the unwholesome thoughts. Mind is not related with unwholesome thoughts because it is focused breath. It is quiet, mindful, and relaxing, calm. This rapture or joy arises, mind become more quiet and calm and peaceful. These are the factors of the jhana. To arise this rapture joy, and we have to develop mindfulness awareness until mind become more relaxing and calm and peaceful. Now your mindfulness quiet, stable. You focus your breath and your mind and relaxing, quiet, relax. Now you may listen to the bell. And slowly open your eyes. Mm. Okay, you can take a 2 minutes break before we go into Dhamma discussion. If you have any question about practice, okay, you can just stretch your legs or your arms, just stretched and get relaxed. You're going to learn most amazing sutta. In this sutta is Buddha explaining. You ready to discussion? Okay. This is this sutta is quite shocking. How can I say that? Mm, it's feel right. හදවත
Yeah.
කම්පා කරනවා පෙනුන දන්නවද කොහොමද කියන්නේ හදවත කම්පා කරන දේශනයක් heartbreaking, right? Michael, is that right? It's quite touching.
Heartbreaking means very, very sad, very unhappy. Heartbreaking means very, I guess everybody should tell me what they think. Tell us what you think. But I think the phrase heartbreaking means very sad, very disappointing and sad. So I think heartbreaking, it's like when somebody you love says, I don't love you. That's heartbreaking. But in this case, I think mind-blowing,
Right.
hair-raising, that is A little frightening, maybe.
Yeah. It is all about when we learn the Buddha's effort to be enlightened, to be Buddhahood, how he um, suffered to
Mm.
become a Buddha.
Oh, that would be heartbreaking.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. This is called Mahasihiyanada Sutta. Siha means lion. Maha means greater. Nada means roar. Lion's
Mm.
roar. Great lion's roar. You know the lions, he make roar
Mm.
when he leave to find and hunting before he leave into
Mm.
hunting. And that's roar of the lions explain to others he is the king, and
Mm.
his bravery. His bravery. He is not fear to any animal in the forest. He not get shocked. He not get he not escape. He is not feel fear, and he is very pride himself. That's why he is roaring. Then when Buddha teach Dhamma, and Buddha feel the same like a lion,
Mm.
and Buddha teach because Buddha know what he is teaching, and Buddha know the teaching is right, correct. It is all about truth. It's all about reality, and it's related to wholesome. And then Buddha's teaching is like making like a lion's roaring, without fear, without hesitation, without doubt. Buddha teach Dhamma with clear comprehension, right? This is why this sutta called Sihanadu Lion's Roar. Then Buddha was living in the Vesali. Vesali, also called Visala. It is the city belonging to Lichavi, the kings of Lichavi. And Buddha was living behind the city, behind the out of the city. There was a little forest out of the city. There are two cities, um, the city inter and outer, right? The ancient time, there was a wall around the city. In the wall, it is called internal city, and the behind the wall is called outer city, Bahinagara. And Buddha was living in the behind the city in the forest. Then Sunakatta, he he used to be a monk, ordained monk, and he disrobed. He left the ordination and become a household layperson. He wasn't happy with Buddha, and he keep criticizing Buddha among the people in the Vesali. He was keep saying Buddha doesn't have any supernormal powers. Buddha doesn't have any supernormal powers or any unsurpassed attainment, supreme attainment. Buddha doesn't have any supreme attainment. But Buddha has the kind of knowledge is reasoning. And Buddha teach Dhamma according to his own understanding, but that Dhamma who is practiced that way and he could end up the suffering. And then Sunakata was wondering, keep saying that. Buddha doesn't have any supernormal powers, he doesn't have any supreme attainment, but he has acquired skill to teach Dhamma according to his own understanding, but whose practice that he could make the end of suffering. Then one day Sariputta was roaming collecting alms from the Visala city, the city called Vesali. And then Sariputta heard that Sunakata's criticizing of the Buddha. When Sariputta finished his alms collecting and came to see the Buddha and just let Buddha know and told the Buddha, Bante Sunakata, who has left this order and become a household layperson and keep wandering saying, criticizing Buddha. Buddha doesn't have any supernormal powers or any supreme attainment, but he has acquired a skill to teach Dhamma to make end of suffering. And then the Buddha said to Sariputta, Sariputta, that Sunakata is angry. He is angry. He criticizing me because of his anger. But he thinking he is criticizing me, but he is praising me, admiring me, because my teaching all about the end of suffering. And he says, the who is practicing according to his teaching and he could make the end of suffering. But it wasn't the idea of the Sunakata. Sunakata's idea was criticizing Buddha and blamed the Buddha. And Buddha says that Sunakata is an empty person. He doesn't know, he doesn't understand me. You know, it is very interesting thing. Sunakata used to be an attendant of the Buddha before the Ananda. You know, Ananda is the attendant of the Buddha, right? Sunakata is the attendant. He used to be attendant of the Buddha before Ananda. This Sunakata, the story is he he belonged to royal family, Lichavi. He born as Lichavi, the clan in the Lichavi royal family. There is another sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya called Sunakata Sutta. In that sutta, he become enter to the order. He asks some question about, from the Buddha, and Buddha answered him. Then he is not yet monk. In that Sunakata Sutta, Buddha explaining, and according to that sutta also, he is quiet. His thinking is quite different. And there's another sutta in the Digha Nikaya, Patika Sutta. In the Patika Sutta, when Buddha meet a Bhagava, and Bhagava asking about Sunakata, Buddha said, yes, it is. He used to be a monk, but he disrobed. Then now he is criticizing me because he doesn't understand me. By living with me, near me, he couldn't understood. And then here Buddha said, Sariputta, uh, that Sunakat is angry and he criticizing me because he doesn't understand me about me, about my Buddhahood. And Buddha he explaining his 9 qualities. Arahang Samma Sambuddha Vijjacharana. It means the worthy one, holy one, Buddha's holiness, worthiness, perfectedness. The Sunakata didn't understand and realized. And Samma Sambuddha is a fully enlightenment. And we have learned these 9 qualities of the Buddha, right? And Buddha is the Buddha endowed mm, supernormal powers, and Buddha is the well gone, knower of the world, teacher of the human and gods, fully the enlightened one and blessed one. Then Sunakata wasn't able to understand these qualities of the Buddha. That's why he is criticizing me. And also, the commentary says Sunakata asked Buddha teach him something to attain supernormal powers. And Buddha realized he not able to attain that supernormal powers. Then Buddha didn't teach him. That's why Sunakata got angry um, and left the order and start to criticize the Buddha. And according to Patika Sutta, Sunakata keep asking Buddha show him some supernormal powers. Buddha didn't agree to show him supernormal powers. Do you think when someone asks Buddha to Bhante, show me some supernormal powers, supernatural powers, do you think Buddha saw him? Buddha doesn't do that. Then Sunakata was disappointed. We're not going to learn that in that sutta, Patika Sutta explained in Sunakata asking many things, but Buddha rejected his request. Then here, let's see what Buddha explained in this Sihanada Sutta. Then Buddha explaining here, okay, Sariputta, Sunakata couldn't understand my nine, 9 qualities, worthiness, holiness, fully enlightenment, and answer endowed with supernormal powers, and the well gone teacher of the human and gods and knower of the worlds, blessed one. And also here, Buddha says, Sariputta, I do have individual supernormal powers. I can be many. Being one, I can be many. Then I can be one being many. It means Buddha can himself be many Buddhas. He can show many Buddhas in the same time, many uh, copies of the same Buddha, right? This is kind of supernormal power. Become a many Buddhas and show in others many Buddhas. And Buddha become a thousand Buddhas. And once, right away, and that thousand Buddhas become again one. Okay, this is called Ekopi Hutva Bahuda Hoti. Bahuda api Hutva Eko Hoti. Then Avibhavan and Buddha disappear. And Buddha can become disappear. And Tirobhavan, being disappearing, and he can be appear. Avibhavam, Tirobhavam, disappearing and appearing. Buddha can be disappear and appear. And Tirokutta, Buddha can go through the walls. Buddha can go through the walls like a ghost, right? Some kind of spirit go through the walls, go through the bodies, and Buddha has the power able to go through the walls, Tirokutta, Tiropakara, and Buddha can go through the ramparts, can go through the ramparts, and Tiropabbatang, Buddha can go through the mountains, right? Buddha can do that. Actually, it is not about the Buddha who has practiced meditation, developed concentration, developed mind, and who has attained to this super. It's possible to attain these supernormal powers. And Buddha says, I can go through the walls, can go through the ramparts, and go through the mountains without hitting them. Asajjamano gacchati. And Buddha can go through them without touching them and hitting them. Like Sayatapi Akase, like going through in this space. When someone goes in through the space, he doesn't hit into anything. And Buddha can go through these walls, rampart, and mountains like in space. And also Buddha says, Sariputta, uh, I can diving in and out in the earth, diving in the earth, in and out, like in the, Buddha says, like in the Udaki, like in the water. And Buddha can walk on the water, like on the earth. And by crossing legged, Buddha can fly in the space like a bird. And Buddha says, Sariputta, I even can expand my hand until to the sun and to the moon. I can touch the sun and moon by expanding my hand. That's such a powerful sun and moon I able to touch by hand. Not only that, Sariputta, I even can develop and expand my body to Brahma realm, until to Brahma realm. But Sariputta Sunakata wasn't able to understand this my supernormal powers. Not only that, Sariputta, I also can hear the sounds of the humans and gods. It is called Dibba Sota, divine ear, clairaudience, right? Clairaudience. If you have any question, please ask, okay? And just talk to me if you have anything to know. I don't want to make this boring, right? The divine ear, Buddha said, Sariputta, I do have. I can hear the sounds of the humans and gods. For this, um, for this supernormal power, Buddha has used these supernormal powers once. There was a young boy, 7 year old. His name Sopaka. His father died. Then his mother married another person. That stepfather wasn't kind enough to this young boy, and he did beat him very often. One day, that stepfather asked this young boy, "Okay, son, let's go out for a walk." And that young boy was very happy. Oh, my stepfather is kind to me now, and he loves me now. And he was happy, and he left with him. That man took him to a cemetery in the evening time. And those days, people dropped the dead bodies in the cemetery, not burning, not burying. They put them on the ground. Then all the wolves, foxes, and all other wild animals and eating those dead bodies. This man tied to a one onto one dead body to this young boy. He tied to one of dead body and dropped it on the cemetery, and he came home. Now that young boy was very scared, and he was terrified because it's getting dark. Animals keep making noises. Now animals going to come into the cemetery. He was crying. Then Buddha appeared in the cemetery. Buddha came to cemetery at that night and said, "Don't worry, I am here. I save you." And Buddha took him to temple and gave the ordination. I think Buddha heard this Sopaka's crying because Buddha have this Dibbasota divine ear. And also Buddha has the Dibbachaku divine eye Buddha can see. This is how Buddha used his supernormal powers to help these people. And that Sopaka was a very famous monk, you know. He's 7 years old. He's a very, very famous one and a very powerful one. And Buddha asks him 10 questions and he answers right away after being a monk. And Buddha said, Sariputta, I do have this divine ear, and also I can read others' mind. But this Sunakata wasn't able to understand this supernormal power. By criticizing me, I doesn't have this, and he doing a bad thing. He is doing bad thing, saying Buddha hasn't. Buddha does not have these supernormal powers. Sariputta, I can see others' mind. I can understand others' mind, whose mind is with lust right now, and whose mind is free from lust right now, and whose mind is with anger, and whose mind is without anger this moment, and whose mind with ignorance and without ignorance, whose mind is mm, distracted, and whose mind is extracted, scattered, or constricted, distracted or extracted, Sankitang and Vikitang in Pali, and Mahaggatang and Amahaggatang, whose mind is expansive and unexpansive, exalted or unexalted, and whose mind is supreme and whose mind is not supreme, and whose mind is concentrated and whose mind is not concentrated, and whose mind is freed and whose mind is not freed or liberated or not liberated. Sariputta, I can read, I can see others' mind. This is my Chetopariya, the knowledge, supreme knowledge, supernormal power, the reading others' mind. But Sunakata wasn't able to understand this. Now, by he criticizing me, Buddha doesn't have any supernormal powers and he doing bad karma, unwholesome karma. It is not good for him. And Buddha now start to explain, Sariputta, I do have 10 powers. 10 powers. Buddha has explained himself, Buddha has 10 powers. Buddha is not a person omnipotent. You know the Michael, the God, he's omnipotent. What's that called? Sarva Baladhari. All the powers. He has all the powers. What's that called? Michael, you must mute it. You have to mute it.
Omnipresent means everywhere at the same time. Omnipotent, omnipotent, that's omnipotent, means he has all the power.
Omnipotent.
Omnipotent, we say in English. Omnipotent. And we say omnipresent. He's everywhere at once, in all places at the same time. And omnipotent, omnipresent, and so on.
Right.
Yeah.
Buddha doesn't mention Buddha as the omnipotent.
Mm.
And Buddha said, Buddha has 10 powers. It is not possible to control everything, right?
Mm.
Even the impermanent, how Buddha could control. Buddha, he became himself old and weak. His Buddha's physical body was weak, and he got sick. This is out of control. Nobody can control these things.
Mm.
And then Buddha is not omnipotent, but he has 10 powers. And Buddha
Mm.
says, Sariputta, I do have 10 powers. The first one is called Thananta Thanatu, Attananta Attanatu. Buddha can see mm, the possibilities and impossibilities. Buddha knows the possibilities and impossibilities. You remember there is such a thing who has attained to streamment. He not possible. There are no possible him to go to 8 births. You know
Mm.
who has entered the streamment. He will born until to 7 births. He is not going to 8 births. It is not possible. It is impossible thing. And Buddha knows these things. And who has attained to the stream enter or once returner, Sotapanno Sakadagami, he is not there are no possibility to him to do very, very great unwholesome karma, like killing arahants, killing mother and father, shedding bloods from the Buddha, divided the Sangha. He is not doing that such a kind bad, great bad things. Then Buddha know these possibilities and impossibilities. This is one of power of the Buddha. And Sihanad and Nadati, Buddha is rovering. Buddha is rovering. Monks, this is possible in the world. This is impossible in the world. Buddha is roaring like a lion, and Buddha
Mm.
can say that. It is a Buddha's roar, and Buddha is roaring, and the Buddha keep teaching, keep saying, Brahmachakkam pavatteti, and Buddha rolling the wheel of the Brahma. It means Buddha is keep saying and teaching, like without hesitating,
Mm.
without doubting. And also Buddha says, Sariputta, this Sunakata didn't know that. He didn't understand my this power of mine. Then he criticizing me. He is not doing good thing. That's a bad thing because it is not true. He's blaming me without reason. He's blaming me, scolding me, criticizing me, but it's not true. That's why it
Mm.
is bad. That's why it is not good for him. He's saying he's doing that because of his anger and ignorance. And that's the second power of the Buddha. At Atitanagata Pachuppannanam Kamma Samadhanam Thanasu Hetusu Vipakam Yatabhutam Pajanati. Sariputta, I know the karma belong into the past, in the present, and in the future. Whatever karma has mm, related with past, present, and future, And I know that karma and it is cause and result. And it is cause and result. Reasons
mm,
for that karma and the result of that karma.
mm,
And this is my second power, understanding clearly the karma related with past, present, and future with its reason and causes and result.
mm,
But the Sunakata is empty person,
mhm,
empty man.
mhm,
In Pali, it is called Mogapurisa, empty a person. The meaning is quite similar to empty, not knowing person. That ignorant person didn't understand my this power. Then he is criticizing me. It he's what is he
right,
does
mhm,
says it is not true. This is not good for him. And Buddha says, I'm roaring like a lion. I do have the knowledge about the karma, as I know the result of the karma. Okay, this is the then Buddha explain his third power. Sariputta, I do have the knowledge about the Sabbatagaminim Patipadam. I know the all the destinies, the I know the behavior, I know the actions people have and make taking them to all the destinies. Sabbatagaminim Patipadam Atabhutam Pajanati.
mm,
Sariputta, I know as it is. They take in the old sentient beings to their old destinies, right? Patipada means the behavior.
mm,
Buddha can say according to his behavior where he is going, where he will born. This is another power of the Buddha. But the Sunakata didn't understand this. But Buddha's roaring, I like a lion, I do have this power, this knowledge.
mhm,
And Buddha again says, Sariputta, I do have the knowledge, Aneka Dhatu, Nana Dhatu Lokang Yata Bhutam Pajanati. I know as it is all the type of worlds, variation of the elements made by the world, this physical world and this mental world, the all the types of world system. Buddha said, I know the all the types of world system. And Buddha mentioned that is Chakkavala. Chakkavala is kind of planetary system.
mm,
And Buddha again mentioned um, Chulanika Lokadhatu. Chulanika Lokadhatu is the thousand of the uh, planetary system, thousand of the planetary system. And Majjhimika Lokadhatu. It is about the 10,000 of the planetary system. And Sahasi Lokadhatu, Mahasahasi Lokadhatu. It's kind of galaxies. This is how the world has made by world. And Buddha says, I understand as it is these all types of world system. And it is also internal world, Ajhatta Loka, an external world, Bahiddha Loka, an external world, right? Once Buddha said, this human being is the world. His world is his eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body and mind. That's his internal world. What is his experience through the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind? It is called that is called external world.
Mm-hmm.
That is the one way, and Buddha's explaining about the world, internal world and external world, Ajat and Bhaid. And then the other way, the elements of the earth elements, water element, heat elements, and air elements. By combining these elements, this physical world has made by in many ways. According to Aganya Sutta, Buddha explained once happening this whole world galaxies become distracting, distracting, come to closer. And once it's become expanding, going far, expanding, right? That's the one way Buddha's explanation of the universe. And once it is exist, having extracted, once it is having exist, being expanded, it's extracting for a while, millions of million years become extracting, and stay having extracted million years, even billion years. After that, it is start to expand. And million years keep expanding, and then stay having expanded million of billion years. Then Buddha said, Sariputta, I do have this knowledge about the worlds, but Sunakata is the empty person, ignorant person, didn't understand my this knowledge. Then what he's saying, I do not have supernormal powers. It is not true. By saying that he collecting great unwholesome karma, bad karma. Do you have any questions so far?
Uh-huh. Yeah. Anyone have any questions? If you don't have any questions, you should be the teacher. I have a question about supernatural powers. Supernatural powers. Here we go. The qualities of a Buddha. When we meditate on the qualities of the Buddha in order to build faith and understanding, we see that the Blessed One is Araham, Sama Sambuddho. That's so far we have the Buddha as enlightened and fully self-enlightened. In other words, he did it by himself, right?
Right.
And endowed with knowledge and conduct. This is Vijja Karana Sampano.
Right.
Okay, so endowed with knowledge and conduct, fortunate, Sugato, nobody knows what Sugato means. Lokavidu, that's easy, knower of the worlds, right?
Right.
And Anuttaras Parisa Dhamma Sarati. And so that goes along together with Sata Deva Manusanam, teacher of gods and men, and knower of gods and men, and tamer of gods and men. And then we have Buddho, we know that, right? And Bhagava, and that's just something else. Where in here does it say supernatural powers? Nowhere. You have to imply it. You have to, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No supernatural powers.
I think it's mentioned in the Vijjacharana Sampanna. Vijjacharana Sampanna, it is mentioned the Buddha's very special knowledge six
Knowledge and conduct.
yeah, 6 types of knowledge. It is all about the individual.
Yeah,
Um, there is was the going, appearing and disappearing, having many been one and become many, being
yeah.
many, become one, being many. Going through
Hmm.
the walls and the rampart and the mountains. This is called individual. And it is all belong to those things. And the Dibba Chakku, divine ear, uh, divine
Yeah.
eye, Dibba Sota,
Hmm.
divine ear, and reading
Yeah.
others' mind and the
Hmm.
understanding previous lives.
Yeah.
And those power, the special skills belong to Vidya Charana Sampanna.
Hmm. Okay. I later in the sutta we're going to read that if a person doesn't believe in the supernatural powers, if a person does not have faith in the Buddha's supernatural powers, then it's going to be hell, because then you'll fall into the hell realm, right? And we have a lot of that coming. So it's very difficult for me to get the feeling of this.
It doesn't mean if you don't believe it, you're going to hell. No,
Mm,
here the Sunakata, because Sunakat
mm,
is criticizing and blaming Buddha. Buddha doesn't have that.
mm,
But
right.
what is he says, but that's not true.
Mm,
And he criticizing Buddha with uh, that's not right, because Buddha said himself, I do have this
yes,
power.
that's right.
Therefore, it is not good for the Sunakata. What does he do? It is not right. And what does he say? It's not true. That's a bad. That's a bad karma. That's why he actually, the commentary says, he was born in the Peta realm, not in the hell, in the Peta realm.
I see. Well, we have the issue of the Buddha. Um, it's very interesting to me that the most important thing we can say about the Buddha, I mean, if we have a million things to say about the Buddha, the most important thing we can say about the Buddha is that he was fully enlightened, completely enlightened, that he understood things as they were completely. I think maybe of all the qualities of the Buddha, that might be the most important quality. Because if that quality were not there, then the other qualities could not be. For example, if the Buddha was not completely enlightened, then he could not teach us complete enlightenment, right? So
Right.
he could not teach the Dhamma if he didn't have the Dhamma. So the fact that the Buddha had the Dhamma is the most important thing. Now, our miscreant monk, that is to say, our guy who is going to leave the Sangha and criticize the Buddha, acknowledges that the Buddha has this prime quality, this number one quality, but he goes down the list of all the qualities and you say, yes, yes, check, 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 but he doesn't have supernatural powers. So the Buddha says, um, he's actually complimented me.
Mm.
So I think that's very important. That's my feeling. That's a really important part of the sutta, because that's where our mind should be. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, let me be quiet.
Yeah. Mhm. Anyone have any idea before we end up the session? Now we have another 4 minutes, and we have another the powers of the Buddhas to learn. But it's
Mm,
better to discuss instead of just mere listening. It's
mm,
making it's better to make it clear to to discuss if you have any doubt about anything. You are very you are you supposed to doubt.
mm,
Doubt is good thing. Doubting is making clear.
mm,
Instead of merely believing, it's not the thing Buddha admired.
mm,
Don't don't believe whatever you hear. It's not good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bhante,
Yeah.
Bhante, yeah, to me, enlightenment is a different thing. Qualities is a different thing that he can do, and the enlightenment is that he found out how we got samsara and all sort of things. Qualities and the enlightenment is two different things, to my understand.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
right.
I thought.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The disciples of the Buddha, they are also enlightened. It is called arahant. Buddha
Yeah.
Buddha's first quality is arahant, and the disciples like Sariputta is arahant too. But it is not the quality what Buddha have.
Yeah.
It is same quality. The meaning of arahants is not knowing, not destruction of the defilements, right?
Mhm.
Get rid of the craving, ill will, and ignorance. The Buddha did that. Sariputta and all other arahants do have that. But here, in this case, Buddha is special.
Qualities.
That's another quality of the arahant is the Buddha is the uh, worthy to offer or respect or honor by human and God in the world.
Yeah.
Then the enlightenment merely meaning about realizing Four Noble Truths.
Yes.
It is not about the supernormal powers. It is not about supernormal powers. It is different.
Yes.
Right. Santa Nona is right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you.
Um. Okay. I think anything in it now is 11:59. Before we end up the session for today, we're going to learn this sutta for a few weeks. This is an amazing sutta we have to learn. Anything you have to ask? We're going to continue next week. Okay,
Wonderful.
Johanna, do you understand?
Yes, and I agree with Michael in some points.
Mhm.
Yes,
What I
yes, when you say about like the supernatural power, I mean, I don't know if I confuse because I think the supernatural power from the Buddha is like they understand how we have to live in this world, like understand the craving. I don't know, but this supernatural power, like he fly and things like that. I mean, I'm not sure. I know. I don't know.
It would not be the most important thing.
Yes, exactly. As you say, the most important thing is like the Buddha, it was the enlightenment.
Yes.
That's what we have to focus on. Yes, I agree. Totally agree.
And focus on the fact that we also can be enlightened because the Buddha, because we have faith in the Buddhist enlightenment. We have two faiths, one in the Buddhist enlightenment and two in our own possibility to be enlightened. Those are the two things we have to have faith in. So that's what I think.
Me too. Two things for me are the most important.
Yes.
Right. Most important thing is Buddha also mentioned the attain enlightenment, become arahant, get
Yes.
rid of the craving, ill will, and ignorant. In according to Buddhist tradition, we do have two types of attainment of the enlightenment. It's called Sukha Vipassaka and Samatha Vipassaka. Samatha Vipassaka, Sukha Vipassaka means the just understanding danger of the craving and ill will, anger and attachment, then get rid of them and be be free. And understanding impermanent, everything is temporary, is nothing to attach to craving and nothing to die on or about these things. Everything is temporary. And also it's unsatisfactory, not able to satisfy the whole thing, this world existence, unsatisfactory. It's better to get rid of attachment and craving and ill will That's the enlightenment, attain to arahantship. That's the freedom. That's what Buddha taught. That's the one way of enlightenment. Another way is called samatha vipassaka, and he was meditating on breath, contemplate on breath, develop and mindfulness awareness, and then he developed his skill. When he developed concentrated on his mind, and then he has the, if he want to hear anything, divine thing, who is the sounds of the deities or gods, or in the Peta realms or in the hell or anywhere in the humans. If he want to hear, he can hear. If he want to see, and he can see. That's the skill he developed by developing his mind, developing his concentration, samatha. If he want to read others' mind, and he can develop that quality, this is the quality. But who can read others' mind, who can see the divine things or hear anything, but he not able to attain to enlightenment? That's the another skill. This is skill by developing samatha meditation. And Buddha said, if you doesn't have that skill, you can attain to arahantship by understanding impermanent and temporary about him, and then you disappointed, then you get you understand danger of the craving and ill will attachment, then you get rid of them, then you become enlightened. That's your arahantship, enlightenment. This is what Buddha encourages us. uh, then we all not most of Buddhist monks is not doesn't have those kind of supernormal powers. Very few of them got these powers. Many of them just attain to enlightenment by understanding impermanent suffering and non-self. Okay. Mm. Then you see, how we strive to keep our mind in the one point, right? We're still trying to keep our mind on the breath, but my mind is still wandering. It's not easy. How could we think about supernormal powers without not being able to keep mind on the even on the breath? But if it's possible to do that, and then we develop our concentration, now mind is even control. Is under control. Mind is if it's possible to do that, then mind is under control. Then we can lead mind to whatever we want. If if you want to go, if you want to fly in this space, then fly in this space. If you want to walk on the water, then walk on the water. If you want to disappear, then disappear. That's the it is not unthinkable by ordinary people. Ordinary people cannot think about these kind of skills. It's come through the deep training and development of the concentration. When we able to to develop our concentration until to samadhi jhana. I told the five factors of the samadhi. For example, applying mind to the object, to the breath. Sustain, keep mind, attention, mindfulness on the breath. When we able to do that, then you remember we practice today breath, relaxing breath. When mind breath get relaxed, then rapture arise. This is the third factor of the jhana. That rapture is arise itself when mind become calm and quiet, relaxed. Then happiness arises in the body. Then one pointedness. Then mindfulness is very stable. It's never going to lose. It's very stable. That's the first one. In the second jhana, no think about the breath. No apply thought, no sustain thought. Just experience in rapture in the mind, happiness in the body, and one pointedness. In the third jhana, no apply thought, no sustain, no even breath, no even rapture in the mind, just happiness in the body, and one-pointedness of the mind. In the fourth jhana, even not happiness of the mind, just one-pointedness of the mind. It is called ekagata. It means it's immerse, or what's the called one-pointedness. It's only just only mind is just a stop. Even now breathing in that jhana. You see, it's a very extraordinary. It is possible. This is a possible. This is very basic. No jhana skills. By developing concentration, we are still struggle to keep mind on the breath, right? If we keep doing it, one day we will be possible to keep it concentrate. Then we will, let's see, right? But we can understand. To this, we have to sit down for a while, train our mind. But to develop vipassana, you can do by walking, by sitting, by working, and by walking, by sleeping. What? Understanding impermanent. Everything is temporary. Hair become gray, skin become wrinkled, eyes become weak, right? Ears become weak, muscles become weak. So everything is temporary. Yeah, yeah. This understanding about impermanent. These houses, new houses become old, new vehicles become old, right? All the relationship could be loose. We all birth and dying. We can understand we can meditate on these kind of things about any moment, any time, right? And this is keep developing our awakening understanding. It's lead us to enlightenment. Okay, this is the teaching for today, and we're going to share the merits with departed ones and with ghosts and with gods. May they all share these merits. By sharing these merits, may they all be born in the happy destination. By the power of these merits and by the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, you may live happily, live peacefully, without any afflictions, and live long. And one day we may be all be able to attain to enlightenment. Akasatta Chibummatta Deva Naga Mahidika Punyantang Anumoditva Chirang Rakkantu Sasanang Chirang Rakkantu Desanang Chirang Rakkantu Mamparang Sabbhitiyo Vivajjantu Sabbarogo Vinasatu Mate Bhavatvantarayo Sukhi Digayuko Bhavatu Sabba Mangalang Rakkantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena sabba dhammanubhavena sabba sanghanubhavena sada sutti bhavantu te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
Okay, thank you for joining class today and see you next week.
Oh, thank you, Bhante.
I'm sorry, my internet got frozen when you were talking to me. My apologies.
Okay, Jana.
Oh, well, we'll next week. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, thank you, Marian. Thank you for joining.
Teruan Sarnai, Bhante.
Teruan Sarnai, Nona, Teruan Sarnai.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm going to end now.